Welcome to SpotLight. It's the podcast that lifts the curtain on life at Wolverhampton Grand Theatre. I'm Scott, and today we find ourselves in Oz with a couple of cast members from The Wizard of Oz. We've got Nic Greenshields and Benjamin Yates.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Not too bad.
Good.
Yeah,
We find ourselves on the set of the show here, which you're touring around the country, bringing to Wolverhampton in July. And we're going to get on to talking about the show very soon. But I wanted to know, just to start with, what was your, and I'm sure everyone's got the same answer here, but let's go right back and ask, what was your first sort of experience of The Wizard of Oz? I'm going to presume the film, right?
For me, it was a VHS tape for Christmas. That shows you how old I am. I hadn't ever really seen a film quite like it, because obviously it starts in black and white, and then it goes into Technicolor when they end in Oz. And it's just been an iconic film, and obviously then coming into theatre, Judy Garland is very iconic within the theatre community, and the story, it's one of those stories I think that everyone knows as they grow up, and it's just a thrill now to be doing it as a live on stage musical, touring around the country and working with the wonderful Ben.
Oh, I paid him to say that. My first experience with Wizard of Oz was, it's always on every Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think a memory that really sticks with me was watching it for the first time with my nan on Boxing Day when I was probably about 8 years old.
Uh-huh.
And then it became our thing that we did every single Boxing Day. So me and my nan would sit down and watch The Wizard of Oz. So it holds special memories for me.
Yeah, that's so cute. And then, of course, now you both get to be in it. And I was lucky enough to see it last night. And it just looks like so much fun. It just looks like you're having the best time up here.
Yeah, we do. Probably too much sometimes. Yeah. But, it's a great show. It's great from my experience of a lot of shows that I've done. Have had quite a heavy content, Les Mis, etc., where everyone obviously dies, etc. But to do something that's very family orientated and fun and fast and bright and vibrant. And we've got such a great company on this show, not just on stage, but backstage in every department. Everyone, it's been quite a tough tour. We do a lot of shows, and we're weekly touring, so we're moving all the time. But the show has always remained at the forefront of the reason why we're doing it. And the audiences, they love it. And for many people, I think we're reminded that it's a lot of children's first time seeing this or pantomime. And so we have a duty to sort of, give them a really great night, and as you would have experienced last night, it was a great night at the theatre.
Well, I was looking around; it was so full of families all sort of coming together, having a good time. And I think because the show is so fresh as well, like obviously the film is so old. Maybe some of those kids, maybe they have seen the film, maybe some of them haven't. So if you're coming to this, new to it, it's such a look and a style, isn't it? That honours the original.
It's like you said, the first question was, what was your first experience of The Wizard of Oz? And, a lot of the children in the audience last night and throughout the tour, this is probably going to be their first experience of The Wizard of Oz. And I think it's a cool sort of new, modern take on it with a lot of the heart of the original from the film. But we have, vamped it up a little bit and new orchestrations that just make it a bit more current and a bit more vibrant, and something that I think kids of today's generation can engage with a little bit more.
Yeah, I would agree. And obviously you get to play these iconic characters, but having watched it, you've all kept the essence of the characters that we know and love from the film, or maybe from a stage version of it before, but you've also got your own little spin on it. So Ben, you play Scarecrow and Hunk. What do you bring to those characters?
That's why he was cast, darling.
I hate that first character's name. Is he called Hunk in the film?
The Guns.
I think he is, yeah.
I think it's because like I say, I've seen the film. This film is so iconic. It's kind of hard to eliminate those elements of the character completely, and because it is in the script, and the script does lend itself to how it was in the film. But I think as every actor does, I think it would be really I think it'd be harder to come in and try and emulate and copy a performance. So I think bringing your own thing to it is part of the fun. And I'll say, my performance from when we opened in Liverpool to where it is now is probably completely different. And I enjoy that. I enjoy the journey, and it'll probably be different by the time we finish. I'll probably be doing a different
where
thing.
are we now? About 8 months on?
Yeah, I think we're 8 months.
Well, over 200 performances. So we've got about another 90 to go when we end up finishing in London. But a bit like, I hadn't watched the film since I was a child, and when I got the job, I didn't feel the need to go back and rewatch it for any kind of you know, I need to do my research. I knew what Bert had done in the film, and I sort of, in many ways, I only have one American character that I can do, so it sort of fits all things. And that's kind of what I did. I did the same as Big Julie in Guys and Dolls. But I think with my physicality, and that has really lent something different to the role, because obviously I'm a lot taller than most people.
Really?
Yeah, really. 6'7". But yeah, I think you always sort of respect those people that went before you, but you try and put your own take on something, and hope that the audience enjoy it. And we've had such great feedback at Stage Door and from friends and family and in reviews that, you know, we've taken the show and handled it with care, but like as Ben said, made it a bit more modern and vibrant and interesting for a new generation.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard show not to love, but if you do it wrong,
Yeah.
they will tell you. Right?
Yeah.
So and the reaction last night, if that was anything to go by, then it ticks all the boxes. But the costumes that you wear as well, like for Lion to sort of...
That's the word you've hit on straight away, the costumes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's talk about those costumes, because for both of you, they look very warm.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Do you know, I think they're beautiful. One of my favourite things about the production are the costumes. I think they are beautiful. But let me tell you, whoever made them hates actors and wants them to suffer, because they're just... I think they were originally designed for... The show was supposed to do a small run in Leicester. Mm-hmm. And then, because of the huge success, it then went into London, and then it went on tour. So I think, you know, I'm essentially wearing a duvet, like a sleeping bag. There's just layer on layer on layer on layer. And, you know, you're just dripping in sweat by the end of it. And that's the sort of... Yeah, that's the thing that kills me, actually.
Yeah, and you're leaping around the stage in this.
Yeah.
I saw when we were on the Yellow Brick Road, you sort of were swinging around the poles and tumbling over. So
yeah, it's a physical one.
Yeah, it's funny because we've both been in other shows, and we've both performed in Cats the musical at different points.
Yeah,
and both myself and Ben have said, like, how is this show harder than doing Cats? Which, you know, at the end of Act 1, half the cast are laying in the wings on the floor after, you know, doing Cats. But this just feels so much harder, and I think because there's such a physical element for both of us to bring to the role. But obviously with the layers, like I've got layers and I've got 3 layers, and the facial hair is kind of... You just feel like you're kind of suffocated in things. But the look looks great. So you suffer for your art because, you know, you'd probably, if you didn't have all that, you'd be saying, oh, I really wish I had a big wig and I really wish I had a prosthetic nose. And so I've got all that, but it does come, especially on 2 show days and getting back into it and everything. But, you know, we're very lucky to be doing it. So, you know, you sort of take the good with the bad sometimes.
How long does that whole process take before the show?
Yeah, it's funny because we start as farmhands. And sometimes, like, as I've said to Ben, it would feel easier if you just started as the Lion or as the Scarecrow, sort of 25 minutes into the show. But because you come on as the farmhands and you're in the scenes and the tornado at the beginning, then we all sort of have to rush and get ready for our individual scenes where we're introduced.
You want to take your time.
Yeah, and you don't, and it's the same at the end. We have a very quick change, so you don't feel like you come on feeling like hot and kind of sexy and everything, because like Ben likes to. You just come on. You feel like I feel like I've just been coming out of the shower. I feel such a bag of spanners and a mess. But you know, that's what it is, and you suffer for your art, don't you? So.
And like you say, the costume design for this show
is beautiful.
Great, right? Like some of the costumes for like the Oz scene.
Yeah, the ensemble worked really hard. Is it like they change all the time into different characters, from Winkies to Ozians, and then Munchkin Land, etc., and Yellow Brick Road crew.
Yellow Brick Road, I love those costumes. I think that's really clever.
It's a take on that kind of Pan Am sort of, you know, 1950s airline stewards that sort of move the Yellow Brick Road and welcome aboard.
And in your routine, when they've got the crows on their heads,
that's
so clever, rather than being dressed.
Yeah. Like on Pop Quiz or something like that.
It's a great costume design. We've obviously got a sort of visual screen at the back, which is a great part of the show as well, and I think it just really engages children's imagination, as well as seeing the actors, you know, bring the story to life. There is a lot of kind of technical wizardry that happens around them, which our audiences have come to expect, you know, of this sort of generation, and every show sort of outdoes the show before it, and then someone has to keep moving it forward. But yeah, it's just great production.
I mean, let's talk about that. The scenery, like, you know, so it's a bit of both, because I mean we can see this amazing screen, which is really good quality. Normally when you get close to these screens, they start to look a bit blurry or something, don't they? But this is still really in focus.
I think it cost a fortune.
I bet it did.
I think it
did. It's so impressive.
Yeah.
And sometimes when a show sort of comes with this screen technology, sometimes it can be a bit naff. But this is top quality all the way through, right?
Yeah.
And then we've got the gorgeous set design on top of that by Colin Richmond, all the nice little bits that are coming on.
Yeah.
That are
And obviously
take us to these worlds that we recognise, but also a bit different, right?
Yeah.
What you have to remember as well is that the show moves every 5, 6, 7 days. And, you know, that's a huge responsibility on all of our technical team, stage management, the crew, sound, lighting, everyone, who then rebuilds everything and makes it look exactly the same as it was last week in Dublin, but now we're in Birmingham. But yeah, there's things like, you know, we have these things, we have like zap tracks where lights follow us around through little sensors that are in our costume, which is something I've never come across. Yeah. Because obviously there's often 4 of us, Dorothy and the friends, and then Toto on stage at any one time. Most theatres have 2 follow spot operators at the back, so there's never enough people. So now we have this kind of technology which is at the front of the stage that follows us.
So where are yours? Yours are up
there.
These
these lights at the front. Is that right, Harry? Yeah. And they're just they're little kind of things that sit inside our costumes.
Just follow us around.
Yeah.
I think they use that for like ice skating or something, do they?
Yeah,
I think
probably. What my favourite thing is that Dorothy's ruby slippers have their own
dressing
room. Do they?
Yeah, their own dressing room.
Diva slippers.
They have a red light on them.
Which I think
I think's really cool.
The redness.
But, you know, we have, like, what I'd call the old school, like, elements of pyrotechnics and that, which I loved as a kid. You know, you go see things explode on stage. But, yeah, there's lots of nice wizardry and things that are involved, you know, a bit of old school and a bit of the new kind of technology of screens being used now in many productions. So, yeah, it's visually very exciting.
And the design of it sort of takes you to these recognisable places, but that are also very different. Like, I think when you come on, you're on a big sort of can of sweet corn, right?
Yeah, it's cool. Like, you know, there's all the sort of like twists and turns. So like, I'm on sweet corn in a cornfield. The Tin Man comes on a gas pump, like a American gas station petrol.
It's got very much like a 1950s kind of feel to it. Like I'm in a Nevada desert and there's like a neon sort of like, you know, Vegas cowboy yellow legs sort of, you know, and things. And was that rain? Sorry.
Probably.
We're in the north.
So,
there's no tornadoes.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
we're gonna get swept away.
Yeah. If anyone's intrigued, they have to come and see it really to sort of, you know, get a full feel of what the production's like.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah. And then obviously you're touring this to Wolverhampton. We've got a great cast in Wolverhampton. The cast sort of changes as you go around on the tour. Most of you are all coming to Wolverhampton, but of course our Wicked Witch is going to be the Vivienne. So what's it like working with Viv as the witch?
So for me, I'm a massive Drag Race fan. So I was a big fan of the Viv, especially being the first UK winner as well. And there's genuinely not enough words in the English language that I could use to describe how wonderful Viv is. It's kind of like he's so, you know, we do this every day. This is our job, and he came into that rehearsal room and just blew us all out of the park, made us all look terrible because he was completely off script, like knew everything. It's like he's won a competition to be there.
Wow.
Like, absolutely loves it. And he had to leave for like a solo tour and an Australian tour and stuff like that, and was like devastated. But that meant we got Craig Revel Horwood in. Yeah. But yeah, Wolverhampton's lucky you get Viv. Yeah. She's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I think I didn't know much about Drag Race. I knew what it was, but I hadn't watched it. And so when I first met Viv in the rehearsal room, very much just took him as a fellow actor. And often you think people that come into our industry and shows from a kind of more TV celebrity background, maybe they've won a competition or etc., that they're not always going to be up to it. But removing that all away, you know, Viv is a great performer and very professional and very dedicated to the craft, and I think will have an amazing career within musical theatre. It's a real pleasure. So professional to work with her,
and it's a role really, I guess, that was crying out to be a drag role.
Oh God,
which we
yeah. I
haven't
couldn't,
seen.
I couldn't imagine it being
fabulous.
played by a female now.
Yeah.
I just can't see it.
Yeah, but I don't on stage. I just see it as the witch.
Yeah,
Like,
the
it's such a
witch.
great, great portrayal of that character. I don't see,
Terrifying.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see
Yeah,
what she does.
really great.
It's brilliant.
In Wolverhampton, which of course where the show is going to be in July and August, which for you, Nic, is going to be a return.
A return, I think.
couple of roles,
I think I've been there a few times. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've maybe
Well,
four
I've
or
actually got
five
them written
times.
down here, so let's test.
Yeah, let's see if you remember when you've been there.
The first time would have been the UK productions tour of Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
Correct.
What year was that?
Which would have been something like either 2005 or 2006, but I'd probably go for the first year, the 2005.
6.
Was it 6?
But yeah, that's very well remembered.
Yeah.
We've got a great website called grandmemories.co.uk. So you literally type someone's name in, all the shows come up. So then, of course, you did a concert with some students from Dudley.
I did, and Hannah
West End.
Waddingham was in that. I've just remembered, I forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a concert to raise money, I think, maybe for a charity. And
Yeah, I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Cool. And then a panto season in 2009-10.
Yeah, which we spoke about earlier, which, was Cinderella with the Crankies and Stephen Dennis, Paul Robinson from Neighbours. Yeah, that was great. I love Wolverhampton's got beautiful theatre.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what you stand and look at when you're on stage. You look out into an auditorium, and it's got a wonderful Friends of Front of House, which always lay on a nice little buffet. I don't know for the cast. Still happens. That's always a treat. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward. Have I done anything else there?
Yeah, Oklahoma.
I did Oklahoma there, right? Yeah.
There's so much, he doesn't even remember.
And that was according to this, it was 2015. So it's about time that you.
Really nice. And you're our penultimate venue before we finish the tour, and then head back to the West End for a nice limited 4-week run.
What a nice way.
Which is a really nice way to finish the tour and bring it to a close.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's all systems go. It's gone really quick because we've only really got 6-7 weeks left on tour now, and then into London. So it only feels like yesterday in many ways that we were in rehearsal room in November of last year, putting it together and trying on costumes for the first time, and now
It's nearly over.
yeah.
So you click your heels. And,
Yeah.
and
Have you been to Wolverhampton?
I haven't, I don't think.
No.
Didn't type my name.
Nothing.
Did you?
I did. Nothing came up.
No, I don't think I have.
The local bars might.
I don't think I have. Yeah, if you type my name into the bars, then maybe. But no, I haven't. So it's my first time.
No, we're very much looking forward to have you. And before we go, we've got you a little gift from Wolverhampton, actually, because it's Pride Month, and of course we're over the rainbow as it is. I've got you both a little Pride rainbow tote bag for Wolverhampton. So
lovely.
we don't have mugs or anything on this podcast to give our guests, but we do have these. So
that's really kind. Thank you very much.
So there you go. So
thank you. And we look forward to seeing everyone in Wolverhampton.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're really looking forward to having you with us from the 30th of July to the 4th of August. So thank you. We'll see you there.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for listening or watching at home. And we can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.